Chapter 77. The Patriarch's Departure to the Children of the Evening. Then they all arranged themselves according to the will of Adam, and set out on the journey to the children living in the evening region. Everyone offered up his heart to me, and praised me silently, both the departing ones and the children of the midday who stayed behind. And the children of the midday bowed to the parents of the main line, thanked them for the good tidings, praised my name, and glorified my love beyond measure, and rejoiced at my great mercy. And behold, under such happy circumstances the first men of the earth parted from their children. The road from the midday towards evening was a magnificent one, of course, only from a human viewpoint. It was to the highest degree what you would regard as romantic. Because of its great rarity, nowadays not to be found anywhere, I will describe it to you. So pay attention and picture it in your hearts. And this is what the region looked like through which the road towards evening led. Imagine erected in a line 7 cones of a greyish-blue colour, each of them 7,000 feet high, their diameter at the base 1/7 of a mile. Visualize these cones adjoining each other as if someone had placed them in such a way that they touched at the base. In the same manner as the 7 cones are lined up next to each other, there stand behind each of them another 10 cones in regularly decreasing dimensions, and the most varied colourings. From the top of each cone shoots a pure fountain of water. In front of them, at a distance of approximately 100 fathoms and 100 feet higher than the bases of the cones, there leads a straight road across a dead straight mountain ridge on the northern side, of which grow the most beautiful cedars and palms, poplars and plane trees. Whereas on the southern side, except for the aforementioned groups of stone cones and their great winds like rushing waterfalls, there is nothing but barren stony ground, only here and there overgrown with low grass and mosses. Well, this is a brief description of the road from midday to evening. Imagine also the indescribable effect produced by the rays of the sun as they are refracted in the countless waterspouts, and in addition to that, the most colourful opalescence of the lines of smaller cones behind them, shimmering through the gaps between the cones. This brief description gives you a fairly clear picture of this part of the road towards evening. This road, too, was a favourite one of Adam. Here he liked to walk, especially on very warm days, because of the always cool breezes. Besides, in former times this view had always evoked great enthusiasm in him. Whenever he returned from there, he used to speak to his children in exalted terms of my love, grace, wisdom, mercy, holiness, greatness, and might. Therefore, he called this road the contemplation of the 7 powers from eternity of the great God Jehovah. When the patriarchs had come to this road, and gradually as far as the middle cone, Adam made them pause for a while, in order to enjoy the magnificent scenery. Thereupon all the children sat down, and took delight in the silent, mighty action of the raging inanimate nature. After a short pause, during which I was remembered, Adam turned to Asmahel and asked him, "Tell us, Asmahel, how you like this scenery and what you think of it." Then Asmahel turned respectfully to Adam and said, "O father of the earth's fathers, you ask here the weak one, whereas what is presented here is too great and too much even for the strongest. However, when I look at the watering high and steep-pointed columns of bluish stone, formed by the mighty finger of the eternal God, I think in my heart, for great ones the great is not so great, and for the insignificant the great is useless. What is the gnat to do with mountains? What use are to the fly the fingers of our hands? And when I contemplate this mighty scene, O Father of the earth's fathers, I am aware that for the great, only great things may be of use. But the fly shall be satisfied with the buzzing pair of light wings. You fathers, you great and mighty children of the Most High, the mighty finger of God for you has formed such great and magnificent things. You can use them, comprehend, and praise them. For me, the mountains are placed at the back of the fly. O fathers of the earth's fathers, what I have now said is all was able to say. O teach me, if possible, to comprehend in spirit this magnitude of things. Amen. This humility made Adam exceedingly happy, and turning to the others, he said, "O dear children, listen. Asmahel appears to me like a field that has lain fallow for a long time, and because of that has not borne any fruit. But when a good seed is sown upon its earth and then furrowed in, such a field soon brings forth 100-fold fruit. Thus it appears to be with Asmahel. He has not been 2 full days in our midst, but truly, excepting us here, he would probably shame all the other children on the heights. Listen, dear children. If the poor people of the lowlands should possibly come close to Asmahel's fruitfulness, it would be a great pity not to help them. Therefore, we shall today discuss this in my hut under the mighty direction of God, to see what can be done in this respect. May the Lord guard us against any arbitrary action. Amen.